this video demonstration, I'm going to show you how to make a card using the new inserts for the Hexagon from the John Next Door collection. These were designed to work independently on their own or to work together with the Hexagon scene box so that you can make a whole host of different patterns and different looks. If you go onto the Facebook group, Crafting with John Next Door and Crafts 2, you'll see lots and lots of examples of this set used on its own and also with the box and the other sets in the series. So the set actually comes with 9 dies, and each die is designed to work independently on its own or together in a series. So you can use the larger hexagon, you can cut it out with the outline, then use the outline separately to give yourself a different coloured background, or you can cut the panel just into a piece of card like this and give it like that, or you can use 2 dies in the set and you can cut yourself a frame, so you can have that framed as well. So there are lots of different ways that you can use this one, and each individual panel within the set works in the same way so that you can actually again cut it as a solid piece, or you can cut it with a piece behind it or anything like that. So we're going to start by making our card up, and I'm going to show you what I've done with each individual piece. So we'll pop that to one side. So I've started with a card blank, and I've just got a 7x7 card blank here and put mats and layers of white, sort of this teal colour and this jeans blue colour onto it. And that's our main card we're going to start with. So for the first panel, I've actually cut it into a square 5x5 in white. And I'm simply going to apply some spray glue onto the back of that and pop this onto a mat of the turquoise and a little bit of the blue. So designed just to give a perfect mat and layer, and we get that beautiful pattern. And you can decide which way up you want this to go. So it can go hexagonally or it can go flat. This time I'm going to put this hexagonally. So I've added a little bit of foam tape onto the back. So we'll just remove the backing of that, pop it away. There we go. And I'm going to pop this down hexagonally in the centre of the card, and I've made the card a top fold card. So we've got a beautiful mat and layer, and we could simply pop a sentiment in there or a sentiment flag, add a couple of our deco flowers or another flower, and we're done for quite a simple card. But I'm going to go through the layers that we've actually got and do those next. So what I've done next is to take the next 2 dies in the set, which again is the plain hexagon, and this time we have this ribbon thread section. So you can use this as just a pattern, or you can use that as a ribbon thread. So I've cut those together, this time in the blue, and I'm going to use the ribbon thread. So I've taken a little bit of a sort of teal and white coloured ribbon, and I've added a little bit of sellotape on the end and made it into a point so it's easy to thread. So it's simply a case of threading through each hole and back down. So I can go this way around. Sometimes it's easier just to turn it over, and that way I have the ribbon showing on the front. Just make sure that's flat like that. We can continue that all the way around. The alternate way we can do this is to come up through the first hole and just go through the smaller hole, meaning that your ribbon just shows in little places. So you have 2 different options, and again, because of the way the die set is designed, you could actually make this as a frame as well. So we continue all the way around, which is what I've done here, to give me a perfect hexagon with the ribbon going all the way around, and I've left 2 little tails hanging off the end just there. So we're going to add that onto our card. So again, I've added a little bit of foam tape. So we'll just take this off the back just to give a little bit of depth and dimension, and I use a 2mm foam tape, which is the right depth for me, just to give that little bit of shadowing. But as you can see, that's framed precisely inside the further pattern. So we can then move down to the next die in the set. So I'll bring the die back in again, and this time I'm going to use the next hexagon and the dotty insert. And again, I can cut these two together to give me a beautiful hexagon with the dots around it, and add, using the plain hexagon, a colour just like that. Or again, I could use this die in the centre, and by using that I can actually make it into a frame piece. So if I bring one in here, you can see I can use that and make a frame, which again gives me a lovely piece in the centre. But for this one, this is what we're going to do. So I'll move that out of the way. So I've taken one cut in white, one cut in this teal, and I've glued those together, and again added a little bit of foam tape onto the back. So we're just going to pop that one in, and again we're coming out each time, so we're building these layers out. So again, we take the next die in the set. So the next die, which would be the center from that one, has an echo of this pattern of the detail here. So it's echoed in, and that just debosses into that hexagon beautifully. And again, we could use that die and the next in the set to make a little mini frame. I haven't done that one, but you could do that one really simply. But all I've done on this occasion is to cut that out. So again, and I've alternated the colour back to this jeans colour. So I'm playing with the three colours. Die sets like this are perfect for playing with colour. So again, we're coming into this centre panel. And then I want to do the die in the centre, or do the final dies, which is this one and the star in the middle. So I want to show you on this how we actually take these down. So this is the same procedure for all of the dies in the set. So we simply take a long piece of tape, turn the dies over, and pick up the die with the long piece of tape, which allows us to hover in the middle. And then we can pop that onto our piece of card and run that through our die cutting machine. You would then take the same die from the outside and cut that in the teal, which is what I've done here, and place them on top to give you that beautiful star pattern, and again that swap of colour. So I've added a little bit of foam tape on here, but what you'll see is, because this is hand drawn, to bring this one up into the right place, if you see there's a star, so in two positions the point is in the middle. If I move it round, it's off because of how it was designed. So find the middle section, and that way you get the star going all the way through. And I'm going to take one of the new Craft Artist Sparkle Faceted Gems, which you'll notice have been sized exactly to fit that circle in the centre. So now we've got our card put together from our dies. So we've used nearly all of the dies in the set, but you can see there's hundreds of combinations you can do with this and from here. So I'm now going to add some flowers on, and I've used the deco flower and just the sort of lacy element for this. And I'm also going to add a little bow. So I'm using a little bit of pin flare glue gel, which gives me, really sticks it down, but gives me time to move things. So here I've got a bow made in the same ribbon as we've threaded around. And then I'm simply going to add the flowers on by adding a little bit of glue gel. I like to cover my knot. I've always tended to do that one. So we're going to play around. And I'm simply adding these flowers around that bow. Let's move that one out a little bit. And then I'm going to echo that with a little spray towards the top. So a very effective card that's got a really sort of modern look to it. So great for a man or a woman, and great for any age group. But just using three colours, the white, the blue and the teal, but by using the dies in the set, we're able to get something really beautiful and creative very, very simply.